All right, Shalom, Shalom. Call Hawaii La Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations to the hopeful elect brothers out there pushing this truth with all diligence and sincerity, risking your freedoms and your lives to do so. All right, just going into this lesson, it's going to be focused on, basically the brotherhood and our jobs here that we have outside from just teaching and also within it, just our purpose as being brothers, you know. For the most part, we understand that brothers aren't going to have the most substance on this side. We're not going to have it. We understand that we've laid down our lives for Yahweh Shai, and in return, we're going to receive everything on the other side. And we have, the Lord, he selected men that have a fighting spirit because he's a man of war. So these men, they're going to still try to physically beat these odds, all these curses that we are under, understanding that, hey, it's the Lord's will if we don't get far. And we have a abode laid up for us in heaven, man, But ultimately, this is the goal, to be in this truth, to be well-rounded. But this is Matthew chapter 11, verse 7. And as they departed, Yahushua began to say unto the multitudes concerning John, what went ye out into the wilderness to see? A reed shaken with the wind? But what went ye out for to see? A man clothed in soft raiment? Behold, they that wear soft clothing are in kings' houses. Yeah, so Yahushua was giving, the description of John the Baptist, which is, as he said with his own words, there have not been born one greater among women, if I'm quoting it right. And, this is how he came. He came very humbly. This is a man that was an austere man as himself, out there in the wilderness, eating a strict diet, which was, it wasn't a super expensive diet, nor was it, something that was bad for him either. It was convenient. But this is verse 9. It says, but what went ye out for to see? A prophet? Yeah, I say unto you, and more than a prophet, because John the Baptist was bringing in the way of Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. All right, and he said this was a prophet. He didn't come out to look like no king. We're not coming out here to look like super ballers, man. You got to have the Jordan matching the garment when you're on the line, and then when you're outside the line, you got the chains and you got the stones, and and there's nothing wrong with those things, but for face value, that's not how a prophet would normally look. Yeah, brothers might have stones, and that brothers got decent jobs to get certain things, but for the most part, yeah, the man is just he's gonna look like a Apostle. He's just gonna have his beard, his basic clothing. He works a job, goes home, gets in the scriptures, or has a pastime outside of that. Cook your food, basic life. What some would call boring, man. We're not gonna be the guys that you want to invite to the turn up. We're gonna be. You're gonna look like a father. You look like a dad. And we're spiritual fathers in this truth because we're not only being raised up in the spirit ourselves, but we're also teaching others how to do that, which is a part of brotherhood, man. Whether it comes mentally, physically, or financially, and especially spiritually, that's what the Lord is calling us to do. These are all things that tie and twine, And you're also, we consider the brothers that we help to be men of the Lord. So you're putting in an investment, that investment of true sincerity that you have, which is that charity. You had that charity, that love, that true love to see what's in a brother, like in all brothers, to help them out when your brother falters, And as the Lord said, that's going to reap a reward for you, even in the kingdom, man. For like as you have done to all my servants, you have done so unto me. All right. Go from there to Proverbs chapter. I think it's 30. Yeah, this is Proverbs 30 and 8. It says, remove far from me vanity and lies. Give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me with food convenient for me, lest I be full and deny thee, which, you have some of the Sakari gang that are basically doing that, whether they choose to believe that or not. That's why when they get cut, they basically act like women or little children and try to get a lick back instead of just receiving it. Hey, I'm wrong. This is that. Cool. But they try to strain a gnat, and that's not how you do it in the truth. That's real and for real. Not to make this lesson about them, but a lot of it was going to tie into that we're a man of the Lord is going to be more focused on how he's going to get the hell up out of Babylon versus going to strip clubs and having sex on the Sabbath, man. Things which are unlawful. How is that a man of the Lord? Yeah, we deal with women, but this is still also that type of thing that Jake, even when they was going to the Christian church, didn't like dealing with, which was really discipline. The Christian church told lies, that's true. But at the same time, I grew up with Jake, and for the most part, you go to some of those churches were they used to be structured a certain way, which circled around the Bible, which is discipline. You get leeway, but we come from a custom where we believe in a God that created, the earth 6 days according to his time, and rested on the seventh. He didn't just rest all the time or just have party all the time, man. We come from a strict culture. It was a clean culture. It looked clean because you were strict upon yourself. And then, once you've, it says that it is good that the young man wear the yoke in his youth. Once you've borne that yoke on yourself, and you've disciplined yourself, the discipline gets a little easier. You know how to deal with certain things. And it's an honor, man. It's an honor to have teachers. It's an honor to have parents, because these ways teach you the life of discipline to be under Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. But I'm going to get back to the topic at hand. It says, remove far from me vanity and lies, which, like I said, anything outside of a strict way of living is vanity and lies. You have to have that stoic mindset, man, where it says, let me go to it real quick, then I'll come back to this. Shit, is it in Proverbs or is it in Ecclesiastes? I think it might be in Ecclesiastes. I'm tripping. Yep, this is Ecclesiastes 7, verse 2. It says, it is better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting. Which is, what is the house of mourning? When you're mourning, you're not in a hip-hop parade type of thing. Our people are so undisciplined, they turn funerals into parties, man. When it's a time of mourning. And the Lord says we're supposed to basically have that time of mourning, especially around this time of year since it's Passover season. But we're supposed to have this type of mourning. And the truth, it says that this is a fast. That the truth is a fast, man. So with that being said, you have to be strict on yourself. And this is going to tie into also helping out your finances. It says, for that is the end of all men. Too much partying, the Epicurean spirit. And the living will lay it to his heart. And it says, sorrow is better than laughter. For by the sadness of the countenance, the heart is made better. It makes you stronger. When you endure these things. It says, the heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart of fools is in the house of mirth. All right. So from there, I'm going to go back to the Proverbs. I'm going to finish it out. Then I'm going to write to Sirach. This is Proverbs chapter 30, verse. I'm going to start back at verse 9. It says, lest I be full and deny thee, and say, who is the Lord Yahweh? Or lest I be poor and steal, and take the name of my God in vain. There you go. So this mindset of having just enough, even if it's just enough to pay your bills or even help somebody out, you gotta factor in that it's not gonna be you taking countless amounts of vacations and shit, or going to turn up after turn up, or buying drinks or shit, even buying a greasy ass meal. Maybe you want to go out to eat, Sometimes you gotta tell yourself no. Otherwise, some shit might pop up and you gotta ask brothers for money and shit. And that could have been, avoided if you listen to the spirit more, which the spirit usually tells us that you can't always have fun. This ain't the time for fun. This is Babylon. Babylon is a trick for fools to have fun and die. Babylon is like that, what was it, Fun Land or whatever that was in Pinocchio. That's America. It's designed to trap somebody up that is wicked, that believes in lies, that wants to have enjoyment and pleasures in this world when this world is about to pass away. But this is Sirach chapter 18. I'm gonna start at verse This is Sirach chapter 18, verse 30. It says, "Go not after thy lust, but refrain thyself from thine appetites. If thou givest thy soul the desires that please her, she will make thee a laughingstock to thine enemies that malign thee." And this is true. You'll be out there looking like a fool, man. Howbeit, don't let it be a wicked lust, then you're all the way out there. Then you've utterly denied Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and he's going to make you a laughingstock in front of your enemies, like so many guys that fell out the truth. And the only thing I can think of is some of them guys is sodomites now. And it's funny because you was just, saying the same things we were saying, but now it's all wrong, and now you're a mole. Because you went after your wicked lust, which your wicked lust, was whatever was in the world, and the world is, pretty much on that alphabet crap, man. So if any man draw back, hey, it says the Lord shall have no pleasure in you, and that's a part of it. He's gonna give you unto your wicked lust, but don't let your righteous lust pull you out into a wicked lust, which is to be out of the truth, man. Because there's certain things we can do, but we can't overdo them. Aside from, the scriptures say there's certain things that certain brothers can't do at all. It says not all things are profitable for all men. It's even in Sirach that it says that, Not only did Paul quote that, man, but it's true. There's nothing wrong with these appetites. It's something wrong with these bodies on how to endure these appetites that we have and knowing when to do something, when not to. Sometimes the Lord really just don't want you to do a certain thing at a certain time. And you just the Lord is really down here training us to see if we can be like the angels, man, in flesh. Can you still fucking listen? Do you remember? Do you remember this truth that I spoke to you thousands of years ago? Do you remember it when the elders and the apostles are speaking it to you now, and the different brothers that are correcting you, and they're showing you how to live a quiet, peaceable life? All right? It says, "If thou givest thy soul the desires that please her, she will make thee a laughingstock to thine enemies that malign thee. Take not pleasure in much good cheer, not to be tied to the expense thereof." Because it's just pleasure, feelings. It's there for a moment, then it goes away. Even after you've enjoyed it. And sometimes it could just be borrowed, wasted time, man. But hey, I'm a man too. We're all given to certain pleasures, but a part of us being down here is how to maneuver with these things, man. That it says every man shall receive of all the deeds that he has done in this body, whether it be good or whether it be evil. This is 2 Corinthians 5:10. It says, "For we must all appear before the judgment seat of Hamashiach, that everyone may receive the things done in his body according to that he hath done, whether it be good or bad. You know, so the Lord's really just trying to see who can steer these wicked bodies the best way, man. Away from wickedness. And to teach other men how to walk the right path away from wickedness. All right. It says, take not pleasure in much good cheer, not to be tied to the expenses thereof. Be not made a beggar by banqueting upon borrowing. See, there it goes. Basically, you know, all them turn-ups, then now your ass broke. You was doing something that wasn't so-called unrighteous, but look what you did. You made yourself a fool, and you lost all your money. Now you're going to be borrowing, and then you're going to be robbing Peter to pay Paul until you put yourself in a wicked situation, which is how these things come. And the best way to do it is to do it far as to steer clear of these things is the best way. It's going to always usually be discipline. Because you're really storing, when you're disciplining yourself, you're not really spending much on anything. If anything, everything's collecting itself because you're not using it. You're letting it add its value until the right time to where you may use these things. Or you may say, well, I'm going to get a drink. Or, you know what? I can afford to go to this place. I can open this gym membership. I can do this. I can do that. And then you teach other men how to be like you, not only by what you say, but by your example. Because we know that we really are born into a world where people mostly go by example. You know, they don't really fucking like being told what to do. They will follow the example. And people are natural born followers. The Lord made their spirits a certain way because we're also be following Yahweh Shai. It says, when thou hast nothing in thy purse, for when thou shalt lie in wait, it's like for thou shalt lie in wait for thine own life and be talked upon. Yeah, so-and-so ain't never got no money. His ass always broke. Now you asking people to buy your drinks. I think that somebody told me before, if a person can't afford to pay their own habit, then they probably should quit that habit. And hey, man, the best way to avoid falling into bad habits is to cut them off and make new ones, which they say it takes 21 days to form a new habit. So sometimes you have to replace another habit with something else you might enjoy. You know, it's so many parts of life that the Lord has created on this earth that this devil, you know, sometimes doesn't really let us get to, but it's certain things we can still access that will make us well-rounded to still be in the truth. You know, sometimes we do just need a pastime. Sometimes brothers might need to draw or write or, you know, do something creative, you know, something that reminds them of the Most High, of the scriptures that they read. All right. Yeah, this is 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 12. It says, even so ye, for as much as ye are zealous of spiritual gifts, seek that ye may excel to the edifying of the church. Which, like I said, most of our edifying, it not only goes in word, but it goes in deed. That, you know, for one, you don't want to be a hypocrite because the Lord will judge you for that. It says that there is one that is profitable unto many, but is unprofitable unto himself, which is a hypocrite. But also, you'll have more people that will listen because people follow your example. People follow the things that you do, you know, and some won't. You know, some people don't vibe to everything that you do, but as long as they vibe to the understanding that you're walking in truth, if you do, you know. but it's a part of building up and making better men for the name of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And every day we get into these scriptures to understand how we can do that until the Lord comes, to make his elect perfect, man, to help him out with that. That's our job, to feed the sheep. As well as, hey, feed ourselves, because he that watereth himself. So we also have to grow. But with that, I'm going to end this lesson off and give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakakodash, Shalom, and Abba Ball.